Welcome back to Football Daily, where we are ramping up our transfer content by looking at 10 release clauses that are simply too good to ignore. 10. Lorenzo Pellegrini. Lorenzo Pellegrini is only 25 years old, but he's been making a huge impression over in Italy for quite some time. In fact, he has over 200 Serie A appearances under his belt, is captain of Roma, and was set to be a part of the Azzurri squad for Euro 2020, only to see him ruled out of injury. And he looks to be a player that is only improving. Last season was arguably Pellegrini's best in the Italian capital, after scoring 7 and assisting 6 in the league. He lit up the Stadio Olimpico with 4.6 shots and key passes per 90, while 3 of his strikes came from distance where he's proved particularly effective. But he might not be at Roma for much longer. Pellegrini has a very achievable €25.8 million release clause in his contract, which is set to expire next summer. And Calcio Mercato believe Liverpool are weighing him up as a potential Gini Wijnaldum replacement. Unsurprisingly, Jose Mourinho doesn't want to lose his star number 7, with reports claiming he is leading new negotiations over a contract. But if someone does come in for Pellegrini this summer, they'll be powerless to stop him leaving. 9. Mauro Arambarri. Getafe's all-action midfielder Mauro Arambarri is a wanted man after it was revealed he has a £21.5 million release clause in his contract. The Uruguayan international put on a defensive masterclass for the Madrid Minnows last term, attempting the second most pressures of any player in La Liga, plus 3.9 tackles and interceptions per 90. He also drew the 6th most fouls and collected 11 yellow cards, proving a formidable opponent against whoever he faced. In many ways, Arambarri's tenacious style exemplifies what it meant to be a Getafe player under Jose Bordalas, and it's no surprise to see his former manager want to reunite over at Valencia. But sadly for Los Che, Arambarri has been so good that reports in Spain claim the likes of Atletico Madrid, Manchester United and Sevilla have all contacted the player's agents. And with quality defensive midfielders in short supply, £21.5 million could represent a steal. Still only 25, yet boasting over 125 top-level appearances to his name, Arambarri looks ready to say goodbye to Getafe and test himself at the highest possible level. Just before we move on, make sure you like and subscribe to Football Daily with that notification bell switched on. We have videos like this every single day, so make sure you're there to enjoy them. 8. Bryan Gil. One of the breakout stars in La Liga in 2021 was Sevilla's Bryan Gil. The tricky Spanish winger spent the season on loan with Eibar, setting the Basque country alight with 4 goals and 3 assists. But that return doesn't do justice to his overall impact with Los Amaros, with his 3.9 shot creating actions per 90, the 8th highest in the entirety of La Liga. He would also dribble past 78 players and complete 36 carries into the penalty area, though could do nothing about Eibar falling to relegation. But Gil's future is secure at the top of the game, and a release clause of €35 million has left clubs from across the continent scrambling for his signature. But Sevilla aren't willing to let their 20-year-old sensation leave without a fight. They are determined to more than triple that clause in order to fend off potential suitors, but need Gil to agree to a new deal too. So if anyone is serious about adding the Spanish youngster to their ranks, they should act fast, as there may never be a better time to sign one of football's future stars. 7. Javi Galán. Outside of La Liga, not many will have heard of Javi Galán. But with Leeds United eyeing up his ridiculously cheap £3.5 million release clause from relegated outfit Huesca, it might not be long before this lightning-fast fullback is cutting it in the Premier League. Last season, only Lionel Messi completed more successful dribbles than Galán in the Spanish top flight, while he also managed 1.1 key passes and 2.4 tackles per game. Were it not for a lack of final product from Huesca's forwards, there is no doubt the 26-year-old would have contributed more than just the 2 assists. Relegation to La Liga dos means the Spaniard can leave on the cheap, and with such an attainable price tag on his head, it's a surprise not more clubs are fighting for his signature. 6. Florian Neuhaus. He may not have been given much of a platform to shine at the Euros, but that shouldn't dampen interest in Germany and Borussia Mönchengladbach's highly rated playmaker, Florian Neuhaus. It was recently revealed that the midfielder has a £34 million release clause in a contract set to run for another 3 years. And this should be enough to alert some of Europe's biggest players, considering he posted 11 goal involvements in the Bundesliga last term. In fact, he completed the 7th most progressive carries and the 3rd most through balls of anyone in the German top flight. The only disappointment for Neuhaus was the fact Gladbach slumped to 8th in the league, missing out on any European football next season. And this factor could work against the fallen, with Bild claiming the former 1860 München star could be open to a new challenge. To make matters worse for the German outfit, Liverpool are said to be very keen on bringing him to Anfield. Bild went on to say an exit is absolutely conceivable for Neuhaus if his exit clause is met. Watch this space. 5. Arthur Cabral. Next to Switzerland to profile one of the Super League's biggest stars, FC Basel forward Arthur Cabral. Cabral joined FCB in 2019 from Brazilian outfit Palmeiras and immediately hit the ground running with 14 goals in his debut campaign. This prompted interest from Leeds United, though the Premier League new boys refused to meet the Brilliant's €20 million release clause, offering $3 million short. But after another explosive campaign that saw him hit 18 in the league last term, there will be no shortage of clubs willing to pay what's necessary to get Cabral. Should that happen, and the 23-year-old will become the second most expensive departure out of the Swiss Super League, behind not Mohamed Salah but Bryan Gil, who joined Schalke from Basel in 2016 for €26.5 million. That transfer didn't necessarily work out, but Cabral is showing all the signs of being excellent value for money. At a good age, strong with his head and possessing a predatory instinct in the box, he might just be one of the finds of the summer for whoever takes him on. 4. Christopher Nkunku. RB Leipzig have already had to undergo their annual refresh, with their players and managers gradually being picked up by higher powers. Julian Nagelsmann has joined Bayern Munich, while Ibrahima Konate and Dayo Upamecano have left for £74 million combined. So they will be surely hoping no one decides to pay the £34 million that will release Christopher Nkunku from his contract at the Red Bull Arena. Nkunku has been on Leipzig's books since 2019, having come through the star-producing PSG academy. And he has never failed to impress in Germany, scoring 5 and assisting 13 in his maiden Bully campaign, before adding 12 more goal involvements last term. He has contributed a massive 135 key passes across the past 2 seasons, while no one in the German top flight bettered his 6.2 shot creating actions per 90 last term. Still only 23 and capable of playing anywhere in the midfield, it's amazing not a greater deal is being made out of this release clause. Tottenham are reportedly interested, though at this point in his career Nkunku deserves to be a Champions League regular at the very minimum. 3. Tosin Adarabioyo. Fulham will be desperately hoping that no club decides to take advantage of a relegation clause that means Tosin Adarabioyo can leave if someone stumps up £10 million in cash. The towering centre-half was a key player in the Cottagers' fight for survival last season, completing the most clearances in the league at a massive rate of 7.4 per 90, alongside the equally impressive Joachim Andersen. But the pair couldn't compensate for Fulham's toothless streak in front of goal, and their return to the Championship was confirmed before the final round of matches. Andersen will not be rejoining to play second-tier football, and Tosin could be thinking the same. £10 million is a small price to pay for a player of his calibre, and with quality centre-halves in high demand, interest from Arsenal could just be the beginning. He may have only cost the club £1.5 million back in October, but that won't count for much if someone does take advantage of his contract situation and drag him away from Craven Cottage. 2. Chimy Avila. Chimy Avila might have hardly kicked a ball over the past year and a half, but any club sniffing for a bargain should still think twice before ignoring the Osasuna forward's £20 million release clause. Avila made a name for himself as a tenacious battler straight off the streets of Argentina. Despite being just over 5'6", in 2019-20 he was winning 3.1 aerial duels and drawing 2.2 fouls per match. Add to that his excellent La Liga record that saw him score 10 for Huesca in 2018-19, then 9 a year later for Osasuna, and it's clear to see why Barcelona turned to Avila when hunting for an emergency forward 18 months ago. Sadly, a cruciate ligament rupture ruined any dreams of playing at the Camp Nou for Avila, and a repeat of the same injury all but cancelled last season for the former San Lorenzo star too, only appearing for a handful of minutes from the end of April onwards. But as Southampton have shown with Danny Ings, given a bit of love and time, and a lethal finisher could still be found beneath Avila's damaged exterior. 1. Pau Torres. The exact value of Pau Torres' release clause seems to change with every weekly piece of gossip about his future. But one thing is for sure, Villarreal will be powerless to stop the young Spaniard leaving should someone stump up the cash. At present, the release clause is believed to be between £50 to £56 million, which is still a hefty sum to the likes of Manchester United and Real Madrid who are chasing him. Yet Torres is still only 24 and enjoyed a stellar campaign which saw him help Villarreal capture the Europa League and earn a starting spot for Spain at this summer's Euros. Passing accuracy of 93% for La Rioja has demonstrated Torres at his very best, though there is still a vulnerability to his game, particularly in the air. That said, Torres looks destined for big things. Villarreal don't want him to leave, and the player has said he won't discuss his future until the Euros are over. But if he is tempted by life at a European giant, then we could have a monster transfer on our hands. So those are 10 release clauses that are too good to ignore. Who do you want to see your club sign? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you've hit that notification bell to not miss any video. We'll see you next time.